What's up, guys? We are out on the water for another quick trip. It won't be quite as quick as our last trip. Last time we only fished for about an hour. Today I may fish for 2, maybe 3 hours. My goal today is to invite a redfish home for dinner. So it depends on how quickly we get one. If we get one right away, I'll probably only fish for another hour after that. But I'll fish up to 3 hours if I need to. The other goal of this trip is to provide you guys with some inshore wintertime fishing tips. A lot of people struggle with catching fish down here in South Florida, Central Florida, anywhere in Florida in the winter time. Typically January and February are the toughest months for a lot of people. Historically for me, I catch a lot of reds in October, November. They start to taper off a little bit in December, but there's still a decent bite on good sized redfish in December. But then come January and February, they move out of their normal hunting grounds. So if you keep fishing the same areas in January and February that you typically fish in the spring and the fall, you won't catch as many good fish. Most of the fish will be juveniles because juveniles don't migrate as far. So if you want to catch the bigger fish, you got to change up your tactics in January and February. So today we'll talk a little bit about that. Let's get to fishing and then I'll give you some wintertime redfish tips. Now if I catch a redfish and a snook right off the bat, I haven't been catching many trout here recently, and this area actually isn't really well known for trout. But I may try to target trout later on in the deep passes if I do catch a redfish and a snook. There's one. They keep following it all the way out here. Oh, that's a trout. Nice. Okay, so I was saying I would look for the trout if I catch the redfish and the snook, and I ended up catching the trout. Oh, he unhooked himself. That's convenient. All right, so a little trout. He's not a keeper. You won't even bother measuring him. Pretty guy though. Look at all those blues, man. He is lit up. Big old yellow mouth. Let's put him back in the water here. Bye-bye. Okay, so the first tip for wintertime fishing in Florida is don't kill yourself getting up at 4 or 5 a.m. like we do in the summertime. In the summertime, you better be out there at first light because that's when the fish are biting. As soon as the water temps go up, they kind of get lethargic because the oxygen levels go down. But in the wintertime, it's the opposite. There's plenty of oxygen in the cool water. Cold water has way more oxygen than hot water does. So in the wintertime when the water is cool, the fish don't have any problems getting oxygen. What they're struggling with is the temperatures. So they won't be very active first thing in the morning when the water temperatures are low. But once the sun gets high in the sky around 11 or 12 in the afternoon, the bite will turn on. So you can sleep in and hit the water a lot later than you typically would when you're in cooler weather in Florida. A little redfish. Oh, he's not that little. It's a decent fish. Oh, stay out of my drive. Oh yeah, that's a slot fish, I think. Found him right by that drain, right where he is supposed to be. We got the landing net today. Looks like we got dinner. Gotcha. Oh yeah, that'll keep. That will keep, folks. Always get your bump board wet so the fish's scales don't stick to it. Especially if you're going to release them. Yeah, this guy's 22.5. Perfect eating redfish. That's just the size we're looking for the table. So you, my friend, have the honor of coming home with me for dinner. So my #1 tip for redfish come January and February is to go way deeper into the backwater than you normally would. In the hotter months, you won't find any fish back here because once this water gets up into the 90s, there's just no oxygen in it. And the snook and redfish, they need a decent amount of oxygen. Mullet, they'll be back here year round. Mullet don't need much oxygen compared to the game fish. But yeah, in the summertime, all you're gonna find back here is mullet. Come wintertime though, the water cools down and cold water has a lot more oxygen than hot water does. So they're able to push way back here. And also they find the warmer water back here in the cold months. So they're back here because there's plenty of mullet, plenty of oxygen, and warmer water than there is in the primary bays. They'll be back in these secondary bays and way up the creeks and the little salt ponds. You'll find redfish. I love this pedal drive, man. Just work your way back into these spots. I'm gonna throw back there before I go in there and spook them. If I catch one, I'll just pedal forward really quick. Okay, we're gonna sneak right through here. I think we can leave the drive down. Yeah, we snuck right in. Oh man, there's gotta be some redfish back here. Might have to do like a 3-point turn here. Let's see if it makes it. We might make it. Wow, this thing really turns. Oh boy. I think it's gonna make it. Yeah, we made it. Woohoo! Let's make a throw up in here. There's one. That's a red. A nice one. Oh yeah. Oh no. My drive is stuck in the mud and he's over a stick. Oh, we got him off. That's a good one. Look at that fish. Oh, and it's clear, shallow water. Beautiful. That was awesome. Oh, come back here. Stay on. Yeah. Oh, it's another slot. He is dark. He's about 20. Let's get this guy back in the water because we already got our slot. This guy's right there at like 19, 20. Oof. Chill, buddy. We already invited your cousin home for dinner. So you get to be set free. Just see how big you are before we make you famous. $20.25. So we were right, he's right there, just over 20 inches, 20.25. I can feel him drumming on my hand. So it's a boy, most likely. Let's let him go. Oh, I see just a spot to let you go. Right here. Nice clear water. There he goes. Man, when this water is cold, it's got plenty of oxygen, they revive real quick. So normally I dread having to cross the open water with my nose to the wind on the way back. But with the pedal drive, it's a piece of cake. Just sit back, kick back, relax, and pedal. Barely even need to touch the rudder. It holds its position pretty good. In fact, oftentimes what I'll do is I'll check my leader, retie if I need to, change my GoPro batteries, eat my lunch, drink some water. All the things that normally I would have to stop and anchor up to do, now I can just do when I'm on the move. So it saves a ton of time, and it's just so much easier with the pedal drive. So glad I made the investment. We didn't get on the snook, but hey, it was a good day still. We got 2 slot redfish and a bonus sea trout. Anytime you bring dinner home, you can't complain. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll catch you next time.